Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. A good head and a good heart are always a formidable combination. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Forgiveness liberates the soul and removes fear. Do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. It always seems impossible until it's done. Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. The greatest gift you can give yourself is to believe in yourself. You will achieve more in this world through acts of mercy and kindness than through acts of retribution. No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, his background, or his religion. What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others. Don't wait for leaders. Do it alone, person to person. Poverty is not natural, it is man-made, and it can be overcome and eradicated by the actions of human beings. There can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way it treats its children. A good leader can engage in a debate frankly and thoroughly, knowing that at the end he and the other side must be closer and thus emerge stronger. Real leaders must be ready to sacrifice, all for the freedom of their people. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. It is better to lead from behind and to put others in front, especially when you celebrate victory. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Difficulties break some men but make others. What matters is not how straight the gate is, but how straight you walk through it. I am not a saint unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying. Your playing small does not serve the world. As I walked out the door toward the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison. After climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. Poverty is not an accident like slavery and apartheid. It is man-made and can be removed by the actions of human beings. Everyone can rise above their circumstances and achieve success if they are dedicated to and passionate about what they do. I am not an optimist, but a great believer of hope. If you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy, then he becomes your partner. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. I detest racialism because I regard it as a barbaric thing, whether it comes from a black man or a white man. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. We must use time wisely and forever. Realize that the time is always ripe to do right. I like friends who have independent minds because they tend to make you see problems from all angles. I have retired, but if there's anything that would kill me, it is to wake up in the morning and not know what to do. To deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity. There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. One of the things I learned when I was negotiating was that until I changed myself, I could not change others. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. The power of education extends beyond the development of skills. It is a fundamental human right and the foundation for a more just and sustainable world. Do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. The time is always right to do what is right. Our human compassion binds us the one to the other, not in pity or patronizingly, but as human beings who have learned how to turn our common suffering into hope for the future. Ultimately, a leader is not judged by how many followers they have, but by how many leaders they create. Education is the great engine of personal development. It is through education that the daughter of a peasant can become a doctor, that a son of a mine worker can become the head of the mine, that a child of farm workers can become the president of a great nation. It is in your hands to create a better world for all who live in it. There is no easy walk to freedom anywhere, and many of us will have to pass through the valley of the shadow of death again and again before we reach the mountaintop of our desires. Freedom cannot be achieved unless the women have been emancipated from all forms of oppression. Thanks for watching.